And what up everybody, it's Animation here. Welcome to part 2 to What If Deku Was Iron Man. And now, let's get to the intro.
I'm not the one you wanna fuck with. Late nights messing up my sleep, so I'm flustered. Taking out aggression with my pen because I trust it. Right in front of get myself a lamb color cuss for the game. Leave him hanging by his chain. Click bang, feeling rage, feeling fire in my brain, feeling sane. And it's slowly feeling flames, feeling fire from my brain. Bringing more, please, no glory.
Okay guys, last time we left off, Deku was actually 13 years old, and he just went to France to check out a France company's nuclear reactor to find out a really good energy source for his suits. So he went there, he figured it out, and he basically told them a hint to make it better for France. So he's like, okay, I already figured it out, but I'm just gonna give you a little hint. So he gave them a hint, he comes back, and while he's on his airplane, he's basically going there. He's like, Jarvis, open up a screen tablet or this projector thing or a file, and his table completely turns into a projector and all these files come up, and then he's like, okay, we need to start building. So he creates let's say 10 different Iron Man Mark suits, which basically improve as they go on, the more he thinks and makes them. So the first one is Mark 6, no, not Mark 6, Mark 5, and Mark 6, Mark 7, Mark 8, and Mark 9, and continuing. So he does that. He basically tells and each and every one of them is missing the inner core thing that is inside in the middle, because he still hasn't created that thing yet. So he still needs to figure out how to create it, and then basically create it and then basically use it. So he knows a good idea how it should be connected, so he does leave a part in there, and then basically tells Jarvis to create all these suits, and he tells him that it's gonna take him about a week to finish just 2 of them, or yeah, basically it's gonna take him about 1 week to finish 2 of them. So then Deku basically tells him, okay, start with the process, and whenever it's finished, just notify me whenever one's finished, and then I'll check on it, and then I'll try it or flight test it, and then done. And these are the ones that actually can fly towards any destination or fly towards Deku wherever he is in the world, and they can just come in a neat package, and they're basically like rockets, and they fly over from his workshop towards wherever he's inside the world. So yeah, so Deku is actually working on this really good project with a company called in the military. Basically, he's basically giving them some high-tech weapons to keep the country safe from other villains or terrorists. So yeah, he basically does that. He goes on this trip, and then he basically gets attacked by terrorists. They basically take him. They basically do the surgery on his chest, and he also gets that thing just like Iron Man, and he's inside the cave, and they basically tell him to make a missile or a weapon that can destroy mass people and destroy a lot of quirks and stuff like that. And they basically give him about a month or so to make it, and he also is with like this old man who is good with surgery and stuff. And this is the same scenario in the first movie of Iron Man, and that is exactly what's gonna happen. But this time he doesn't really need to create a suit, because he already has suits flying over. And they basically look at his watch, and in the middle of surgery, so they basically look at his watch. He's like, ah, it's a plain watch, who really cares? And they leave it on Tony and basically leave him. And Tony Stark, or Tony, basically goes out to see all these weapons that they have and parts. They are not from his company, because he doesn't make weapons. He only creates hero equipment and suits like that. And he was starting to create weapons for the military to help them out a little. So they were like, I want you to create me a missile, and that's what the translator basically tells him. And then he's like, no, I'm not. And the translator's like, no, he isn't. And then he basically says, okay, deal. And they basically go in the cave. They start working on the Arc Reactor that basically Deku has been studying. Thank God he actually researched the France nuclear reactor, or he wouldn't be able to survive right now. So whenever the people do get suspicious, he basically tells them, oh, for the missile to be created, I need more time, and that thing that you put on me, it won't last as long as it needs to keep me alive. So this will keep me alive for a long time, and I will be able to create it. So I won't just like die halfway finishing it. So that's the excuse that he makes it. And he says like, no, don't kill him. I need him to, because he has steady hands. So I need him for that. So after they're finished with the Arc Reactor, Deku has nothing to hold him back. So he basically calls Jarvis with his watch and basically tells him to launch Mark 6 towards his destination, and he asks the person, the translator, which destination they are, and he gives them the pinpoint destination. The suit comes flying, and it says it will take it 1 day to basically arrive, and they're basically messing around in the cave to basically trick the people that for 1 day to basically wait for the suit coming in. So the suit arrives, it crashes in through the door, and basically Tony basically is stretched out into like a form, and it basically comes onto him, and he's like, time to get out of here. And he basically takes the person that he was with, who helped him translate for everything, and he takes him with it, and he basically starts firing at everything, missiles going everywhere, and a huge explosion goes, and it goes inside of the cave, and the person who was translating for him actually gets hurt and dies because of it. And he's really sad. He lost someone like a father figure, just like his father. He helped him a lot, and he was a lot older than him, so he was like somewhere 50 years old, and he was helping me out, and he's like, you were like a father to me, or uncle, and I'm sorry I couldn't save you. And then this is also the motivation, because if I had some kind of regeneration therapy type something like that, I could have saved you, but he doesn't have it. So then, oh yeah, and by the way, I got the permission from Sir Plotsalot to use his iron regeneration therapy. I'm gonna call it Stark regeneration therapy, just because his company name isn't Iron Therapy or something. It's Stark Industries. So he basically flies off, lands into his house. His parents were worried. His secretary was worried about him, because his secretary is just like his mother now, close to his mother, or older sister, because they've been together for a long time now, and she's basically been taking care of him like an older sister. So she's like been worried about him, and then he basically tells him, oh, I was kidnapped by terrorists and stuff like that. And now he has this Arc Reactor thing, and he basically creates the surgery thing, and then he feels like his Arc Reactor is about to stop, so he creates a new one, tells his secretary to come in and do that scene again. They pull it out, put the new one in again, and that basically is like life support. He creates another conference meeting, and basically tells them what happened to him, explaining everything, and then he basically shows the Arc Reactor to them, and this is my life support. And then he's like, no, this conference wasn't for me to tell you that I was captured and what my life support is like now. I'm telling you because I'm bringing out a new regeneration therapy, and he's figured it out. The new regeneration therapy uses stem cell research that the Stark industry has been researching for a long time, and has finally made a breakthrough to create the Stark regeneration therapy. And he basically explains everything, and everybody's asking like, why did you create this? And he's like, there was a man in the cave helping me make this life support of mine, and helping me every moment, and he ended up dying because of a mistake that I did, and was basically killed. So I could have saved him if I had this regeneration therapy to help him, but I couldn't. So that is exactly why I created this regeneration therapy. And he probably already saved a lot of kids already with this regeneration therapy. He basically gives them this statistics, and he basically tells them 100 people have already tried this life-saving regeneration therapy, and it has 100% success rate, and has worked on every single person that has come to basically use this regeneration therapy or surgery. And then this actually catches All Might's attention. He's like, regeneration therapy, this actually might be it. Somebody's actually created a surgery or a therapy that can actually help my wounds. So he basically calls up Stark Industries. He's like, I'm All Might, I need to create an appointment for the regeneration therapy. And this time it's Stark himself, or Tony Stark himself, who's actually going to be working on All Might, because he wants to know the story behind All Might's visit and stuff. He tells him about the wound that he got 5 years ago fighting a villain, and his quirk and stuff, and he entrusts him with this information. He's like, okay, fine, I will keep the secret, and let's get started with the surgery. He's like, are you sure it can actually heal me? And he's like, of course it can heal you. Even if that looks that bad, anything can be healed by regeneration therapy. And soon I'll be implementing nanotech inside of regeneration therapy too, so it make them even more productive. And basically nanotech inside of your body will act like cells and basically help you in any endeavor that you face. So he does heal All Might with his surgery. Surgery goes successfully. All Might's strength is completely back normal, and it's his All for One is also returning. So he's basically getting stronger every single day, every single time he uses One for All, because his power was suppressed because of his injury, and he was weak because of that injury. So if that injury is gone, he'll be able to use his power to the peak that he was before. So I think slowly All Might will get stronger and stronger and stronger up to his peak, and when he gets to his peak, then when he passes on One For All, he starts getting weaker and weaker and weaker again. So then Tony Stark basically tells All Might that your dream was good, it was right, but it's unfinished. It's not right, it's not the future, it's unhealthy for the future to only have one symbol of peace. And All Might was like, you think my dream is bad? And it's like, no, I think it's unhealthy, and it's incomplete. You had the right idea, but it's still not complete. Instead of having one pillar, why not having a lot of pillars to support and suppress the darkness in the world? And having a group, like a team full of strong heroes that can support everyone and become the pillars of peace. Because even if there's gonna be a #1 hero stronger than you in the future, they're still gonna end up like you with a really fatal injury that will make them weaker again. And what if there's a villain even stronger than the villain that you face in the future and gives the next #1 hero or the symbol of peace the same injury that you have gotten, maybe even worse, maybe even killing him? So having more than one symbol of peace is necessary. All Might takes this to heart because he really understands, or not understands, but really supports his judgment, because he's one of the smartest people in the world, and he's a billionaire because of that intelligence. So he's like, I'll take that to heart, and might think of something. And yeah, and if you might not think of this, Avengers are probably going to be created. Todoroki is going to be in there, Katsuki Bakugo, Ida, who else? Mirio, and Iron Man, or Tony Stark, and maybe the next successor. Tell me if I should give like the next successor a completely brand new character, or someone else that doesn't really have a quirk, or just tell me in the comments which person should get One For All. Not Tony. I don't want him to get One For All, because it's going to be pretty hard for him to use One For All inside of his suit. So yeah, he doesn't really need One For All, or the suit is completely useless to him at the end. So should I add like some kind of Captain America kind of character who uses a shield? His father was like a soldier, and he used his shield in battle, and he also wants to become a hero like his father. And he's like, I'm Captain America, but he doesn't really have a quirk because he's quirkless. The only thing he does have is training, military training, how to use a knife, how to use a shield. And when he does, and if he becomes like a successor of One For All, he might actually have like the super serum version of Captain America's super serum. So yeah, if you think that Captain America idea is good, please like the video, and also comment down below if you actually like the idea. So yeah, let's move on. Wait, hold up, let's not move on, because it's like 12 minutes. I have to end this video. Make sure to like, because it really does help the channel out. And the reason why I'm cutting it short is because I need to upload 3 videos today, and this is the second video that I'm recording, so I need to record another video after this. So I hope you guys like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and as always, Anime Junkie out.